So now I want to guide you to create a vision manifesto for the prophetic picture that you have caught. It's an actual document that you should have, a manifesto of your personal vision. You need to know the deepest part of your vision. Because if the spirit of perdition comes after that, and the deepest part is SDG goals, you're gonna go. I assume that everybody here already has interacted to have a burden or a prophetic picture or an instruction or an assignment. And I believe I'm not wrong. We talked about it before as the prophetic picture. Remember, I said have it in mind. So now I want to guide you to create a vision manifesto for the prophetic picture that you have caught. And we're going to be working from Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 to verse 16. So I'm guiding you to create a vision manifesto. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not. So these are people who are stayed with him and is about to send, right? So you have stayed with God, and if God is sending you, or when he's sending you, these are things I want you to have in mind. Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, and enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the first component of your vision manifesto is the terrain of your vision, the where of your vision. You're not called to every place. It's not every opportunity that is your opportunity. So you need to know the terrain. Do not go to the way of the Gentiles, rather go to the lost house of Israel. So where is God sending you to? As far as your life vision is concerned, and as far as the chapter 2025 is concerned, where is God sending me to? That has to be in your vision manifesto. So that looks like the sphere of influence God is sending you to, right? He may be sending you to healthcare, he may be sending you to the legal world, he may be sending you to education. There's a where, and then there's a where you should not go. So if the emphasis for now is like we were talking about, if the emphasis is health, don't go to beauty. If the emphasis is law, don't go to education. Even if you have a burden, he has not sent you there because he cannot back you up in a place where he didn't send you. He can also back you up in a place where he sent you, but it's not yet time. Right? So what's the terrain? Yeah, what's the geography of my vision? The sphere of influence, the industry, your vision manifesto. But go right as the lordship of the house of Israel. Verse 7, as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the next component of your vision manifesto is your message. What is your message? Now, everybody's message is the kingdom of God is at hand. But not everybody preaches that message by saying those words. Right? Everybody's message. It doesn't matter where God has called you to. It's the message of the kingdom. Or you can preach that kingdom by preaching personal effectiveness. You can show that kingdom by teaching personal branding. Right? So not everybody will say the words, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, but everybody's saying that message. So what is your message? You have been sent to healthcare. What is your message? You've been sent to art. What is your message? You've been sent to education. What is your message? You need to know what your message is. Because don't just go out and talk. You need to know exactly what he's telling you to say. Okay. And as ye go preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Verse 8, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. So that's the effect of the message. By your preaching the message, the sick should be healed. The lepers should be cleansed. The dead should be raised. So what are the effects? The expected effects of your message. What are the expected results that I should see? So he says, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. You can open that up for your industry. Heal the sick. What sickness? Deformity, like disease. So what kinds of thinking, what kinds of practices have the people in my industry adopted that strays from original patterns? When you bring them back through ideology, when you bring them back through mentorship, when you bring them back through training, you are healing the sick. Right? Cleanse the lepers. People who have had leprosy, they've lost their skin, their bodies are also people who have suffered damage. People who have lost a part of themselves, God says, cleanse them. So the child who is out of school, he has lost time, he has lost dignity. That's you cleansing the lepers. Raise the dead. There's some people, there are certain parts of their lives are dead. So they are in business and family life dead, spiritual life dead. He's saying go to business, revive them. Let there be revival in the business world. So their spiritual life is awakening. So their family life is awakening. You are raising the dead. You see, that's an effect of your message. So you want to write that down. What are the effects of my message? How does it establish the kingdom? And how does it advance the dignity of humanity? How does it establish the kingdom? You must think this twofold, right? God is interested in advancing humanity. And how does he do that? Through the agency of the kingdom. So your message must be establishing the kingdom and advancing the dignity of humanity. So taking underprivileged children back to school is advancing the dignity of humanity. God is interested in that. But you don't want to do that as SDG goal only, right? Because for some people, the farthest point of their vision is SDG goal. Are you joking? If the devil attacks that, it will paralyze. So it has to be the establishment of the kingdom. That's the only thing that has power to back you. That's the only thing that has power to actually dislodge the structures that the enemy has set in the marketplace. You can't go there with SDG goal and the devil backs out. You can disguise as SDG goal for global interactions, but you know it's not SDG. You can use SDG to get grant, but it's not SDG. It's actually very important that you are able to articulate your vision in a professional way that can interact with global dynamics. But you need to know the deepest part of your vision. Because if the spirit of perdition comes after that, and the deepest part is SDG goals, you're gonna go. You're gonna go, right? So heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. And then primarily raising the dead is preaching the life in Jesus Christ. So in whatever marketplace. So it's everybody's assignment to raise the dead. And of course, it goes to physically raising the dead. Let's not make it metaphorical and forget that God actually wants us to raise the dead, right? So that's what your vision manifesto looks like. And then next it says freely receive, freely give. If you remember, I told you, you must have a cause that you champion or that you contribute to that is not for profit. You must either be championing it or be contributing to it. So she's already championing something. Ask her how you can partner. Contribute to it. Let a fraction of your business, 1% of your monthly income, let it go to that cause. And then it says, the workman is worthy of his meat. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither two coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. Jesus said, as you are going, don't carry anything, be going. Yeah, we'll be going, don't take anything. And then when they came, he said, did you lack anything? No, because there's an economic model of the vision that you have. And Jesus says, you are worthy of that meat. Right? So he doesn't want you to be money conscious, doing everything that you're doing for money. That's the problem I have with this monetization message, because it shrinks a divine vision into bread seeking agendas. But Jesus is saying, as you go, you will not lack. Why? Because the workman is worthy of his meat. There's an economic model that surrounds every vision. It's your duty to crack it. It's your duty to crack it. And let me say this at this point, because we're also talking wealth transfers, how God is transferring resources. An economic model that is a winner in 2025 is consultancy. It does not matter the business that you do, you must consult in 2025. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're doing a food business, start a consultancy arm of the business. Right? You must create a consultancy arm for your business. It's an assignment you must put, because there's power on that for 2025. You know what the Bible said? It said they will hold your skirts and they will say, where's your God? Take us there. It's consultancy. You are producing superior results. How are you producing it? Tell me. You're consulting for them. And there's a lot of money coming from there in 2025. A lot of money is on consultancy. It doesn't matter the business you are doing. Another place wealth is coming into is policy advisory. If you're able to advise on policy direction, there's a lot of money coming in from there as well. What I said, there's a lot of money in policy advisory, both for institutions, for organizations, and for nations. Verse 11, and into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide. Who in it is worthy means who is of your own company, of like faith. That's your target audience. There abide. Stop trying to serve people who are not your target audience. Jesus said, find your target audience and serve them. So a part of your visionary manifesto, what must be captured is the people whom God has called you to serve. Who are they? Go and build a customer avatar. When God sends you, He expects you to do all of this. So who is your target audience? Who are you targeting? Who would you serve? It's verse 12. And when ye come into an house, salute it. Salutation. Salute it. That's human relations. Be able to salute people, and then that's brand language. You are saying something. Salute the house. That's the language of your brand. After salutations, he says, when you come into an house, salute it, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. Let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. If you find your target audience there, let a resource from you come from them, right? Be valuable. A valuable contribution come from you to them. Create something. Let a resource come. Jesus said, let your peace come, right? But let it be something valuable. Do you have a product that your target audience can benefit from? Right? What's the product? At verse 16, behold, I send you forth. It is Jesus that sends. You don't go because you feel like you are ready. Because the place of purpose or the place of vision is battleground. Because it's war you are declaring to say you want to advance the kingdom and advance the dignity of humanity. So, right, it's Jesus who sends. If Jesus has not sent you, don't go. If Jesus has not sent you, don't go. Stay. Prepare. Let the vision be developed. It's Jesus has sent. And then it says, I send you as a sheep. You can see the battleground now is a wild place. Wolves will eat you up. But then it says you are a sheep in wolves' clothing. You need to be able to stay in the space where you have been called. You look like the space, but there's something different. The voice is Jacob, but the skin is Esau. Is a kingdom dynamic. They don't know until they're influenced, and well, too late now. Now they know God. So there's a lot of work to do in the social systems, right? And God is calling you there. You need to know how to dress. The culture is trying to detect who is this person. That's like an error has entered the system. There's something wrong, but where is it wrong? Where is it wrong? Where is it wrong? They can't find it until you are flushed in the system. You say you are the salt of the earth. You are going to enter the system. But God wants to work on you to ensure, like it's popularly said, you make contact without being contaminated. So you have to be able to be a sheep in wolves' clothing.